What's up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. Now, the SEC is at it again. Us in the XRP community have been saying this for months and months to the crypto community. Beware, right? Beware that the SEC and Gary Gensler are on a crusade to come after all of crypto. When they filed this lawsuit against Ripple and XRP, a year and a half ago, we all said, we should all band together and fight the SEC. The SEC is the ones we should be, moving against here. We got to get Congress, we got to get the crypto community together and take on the SEC together because, this is only the beginning, right? We knew in the XRP community that they were going to come after exchanges, they were going to come after DeFi, they were going to come after anything that, was against the big banks' agenda, basically, right? So when this came along, it wasn't anything surprising, but all of a sudden you have these Bitcoin and Ethereum and other crypto advocacy groups up in arms against what the SEC is trying to do here. And honestly, if they would have just joined Ripple and XRP holders with John Deaton's, class action lawsuit against the SEC ahead, a year and a half ago, we'd be ahead of the ball. But they didn't. They actually, most people, badmouthed Ripple and XRP when this lawsuit came down on Ripple a year and a half ago, which is unbelievable, right? So is it surprising that the SEC is now, coming after exchanges and DeFi and all these things that, are bad for banks and bad for, the government cronies that have been basically, have monopolized the financial system for years? No, it's not surprising. But like I said, the XRP community has been warning against this for months and months. So, it's not too late. We can all band together still and fight the SEC, but we need Congress. Congress is the big thing. And in this video, I have a couple things. We have some congressmen that are the good guys, and I mentioned them in the video. But before we get in the video, guys, if you guys could please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below, it would be very much appreciated. But let's get right into it. So this is CoinDesk. Crypto proponents fear SEC backdoor regulations on exchanges dealers. Lobbyists oppose proposals that may regulate crypto without explicitly naming the sector. Okay, let's get down here. Two recent highly technical proposals could solidify the Securities and Exchange Commission's grasp on the U.S. crypto market, leading the industry to take another stand against what he sees as the wrong approach to government oversight. Chair Gary Gensler has argued the SEC should be the lead regulator of the crypto world because of its role as the top cop for the U.S. securities markets. But lobbyists and lawyers for digital assets firms and their trade groups oppose a February proposal they believe may expand how the SEC defines regulated exchanges in such a way that it encompasses a wide swath of crypto platforms. In the meantime, the SEC announced another proposal that seems to follow the same pattern: potential oversight of the crypto industry without making that intention explicitly clear. Now, that's nothing surprising. They're trying to make things as vague as possible so that these exchanges don't know what's legal or not legal. It's like we're gonna tell exchanges, all right, you have a certain amount of coins. Some of those are securities, so you have to come into the SEC and tell us basically and tell us which ones are. But we're not going to tell you which ones are. You guys have to figure that out. It's like, what? This is what's so crazy about the SEC. They're trying to be so vague so they can come after anybody at any time, and that is obviously the exact opposite approach that should be that we should be using to regulate crypto at this moment. But for some reason, this is what the SEC, because we know, and I've mentioned in the beginning of the video, that they're ran by the big banks. So they want to slow down this technology. They don't want DeFi. You think that big banks want DeFi? They've had a monopoly on the financial system for years, right? You think that DeFi totally, blows that whole thing up for them, right? If you can go into a DeFi product, right, and earn 8 to 10% on your stable coin or your crypto, that makes banks obsolete. Who would want to put their money in a bank? It's becoming more clear and clear anyway with inflation and everything that putting your money in a bank is not a smart move. You actually lose money in the long run. But the fact that they're so up in arms against these crypto exchanges and DeFi products, it should be a red flag to say that obviously the SEC is ran by the big corporations and banks. I mean, it's so plain to see, but for some reason they think they can get away with it because they've been doing it for years, right? I mean, look at the way they've, with the Hinman emails and all this stuff, the way Hinman and Jay Clayton worked within the SEC, they acted like they could do anything, right? They could get away with anything. That's because they've been getting away with anything for years. And who's, you think Congress is going to come in and stop them? No, they haven't, right? You think they will now? I mean, if we put enough pressure on them, maybe they will. We'll see. So who's up in arms the most on this these regulation oversight by the SEC? Well, Jake Chervinsky, he is the I think he's the Blockchain Association. Is that lawyer for the head of policy at Blockchain Association, and he tweeted out this: comments on the SEC's proposed rule expanding the definition of exchange to maybe capture DeFi are due today. As usual, the crypto industry is showing up in a big way. Read Blockchain Association's comment here. I mean, as usual. I mean, you guys. I didn't hear you guys, anything from you guys when the Ripple lawsuit came down. But for some reason, this has more. When it was just about Ripple and XRP, you guys didn't care. But now it's more, about DeFi and Ethereum and Bitcoin. Now you guys have more to say here, which is good to say. It's good to see them, standing up for crypto here. But obviously, you guys didn't stand up for Ripple when that was all about crypto then. But anyway, I digress. So the DeFi Education Fund tweeted out, these are letters that these different groups sent to Congress and the SEC to basically, stop this regulation that the SEC is trying to continue on. So we are concerned that this vagueness could be seriously detrimental to the digital asset ecosystem in the United States. The SEC has not justified and cannot justify such a sweeping change. And then even we had Consensus say, in the unlikely event that the Commission tends to designate blockchain-based networks as exchanges, we must point out that the proposal as written would violate the 34 Act, the APA, and the U.S. Constitution. And even, I'll read one more, this is from Coin Center, SEC should narrow the definition of exchange. Otherwise, they will chill substantial protected speech, quash innovation on our shores, and face an unfriendly court that is primed to vindicate our First Amendment freedom. So, I mean, this goes on and on. This is about, I think he only has like 5 or 6, but there's like 20 or dozens and dozens of letters that were written to the SEC and Congress about this. So, I mean, we're up in arms against this. The same thing happened a couple months back when they were trying to, I forget what the bill they were trying to pass. It was the Compete Act or something, the Compete with China Act or something. But it had a lot of anti-crypto legislation in there. And the same thing happened where they wrote the SEC, they wrote Congress, and they took it out of the bill. So hopefully this works the second time around. It's just good to see everybody up in arms against this. But like I said, it would be nice to see these, crypto proponents or crypto advocacy groups. I say it loosely. I would like to see them up in arms when it came down to XRP and Ripple, but obviously XRP community and Ripple have been fighting for ourselves, since day one, and we've been doing a pretty good job anyway. So maybe we don't need them, but it would have been nice. But anyway, so let's move on. So the next thing here, if it loads, my internet's pretty bad. I'm in Florida, but okay, here we go. So James Fineland put this out. So even Congress, some people in Congress, this is the Financial Services GOP, they put out a statement against this rulemaking that the SEC is trying to come after exchanges here and DeFi. So Financial Services Committee GOP raises concern regarding recent SEC rulemakings on digital assets. See letter below. So this is, I think it's, I think it's about 4 or 5 GOP senators that wrote this letter to the SEC in concerns about this, coming after DeFi. I mean, DeFi is one of the most, I think it's going to be one of the biggest aspects of crypto. And you can just tell that banks, when I say banks, the SEC is basically lumped together there. They are afraid of this because it's going to, lose them a lot of money. Like I said in the beginning of the video, they've had a monopoly on the banking system for years and years, right? And now they have this new system where ordinary people or even rich people can use these products and earn interest, right? Why wouldn't they do it? Anybody with a brain would use these products, but for some reason, we know what that reason is, but for some reason, the SEC is against these products, claiming that they are doing this to protect investors. But I mean, we all know that the SEC does everything but protect investors, right? So it gets even deeper. So Tom Emmer, who's one of the good guys, I want to say he's from Minnesota. Yeah, congressman from Minnesota, one of my favorite congressmen out there. This is another aspect that just boggles my mind sometimes about the accredited investor rules, right? So he tweeted out, the SEC's accredited investor regulation are absurd. Gatekeeping wealth creation is un-American. Americans are smart enough to make their own financial decisions, but Gary Gensler thinks he knows better. This is the thing that really gets me. The accredited investor rules. I think you have to make it. I want to say it's $250,000 a year, or have $1 million in the bank or something. So it's like you're only smart enough to invest if you have a lot of money, right? That makes no sense. So only the rich can get richer, and then the people that are just trying to make it, keep you guys down in the dirt, while our rich friends can just become richer and richer. So if you don't have enough money to invest, you're not smart enough to invest, is what they're basically trying to say. And someone down here, let's just read this quick reply here. You guys are acting like Gary is the president of America. Do something already. And she's tweeting out, do something to Tom Emmer. But Tom Emmer, what she doesn't understand is Tom Emmer is in the minority group right now. Not to mention, this accredited investor thing has been around for years. So yeah, he could have done something in the past. But Moon Lambo points out, Democrats have the House, Senate, and White House at the moment. They don't have the political desire to change restrictions on financial freedom. The minority party, of which Emmer is a part, has no power to do something legislatively. At least he's spreading the word of the problem. So yes, at least he's spreading the word that there's a problem here. And in a couple months, I think most people out there agree that the Republicans are going to take back the Senate and House in the midterms. And if they do, that they're going to come after the SEC and Gary Gensler, and hopefully, but we'll see. I don't really have that much hope, but hopefully that this will be addressed, in the next year or so about the accredited investor rules, because this is really just BS, right? And it gets to even worse when you think about the, DeFi products that exist already on the market. Like here in Celsius, this is Alex Mashinsky. He's the founder and CEO of Celsius Network, which is a great, lending and platform that gives you interest on staking or, earning interest in your crypto. And, they've been one of the top, platforms that do this in crypto. But just recently, the SEC basically shut them down in the US. So now, basically, if you had your money in there already on the network, you can still earn your interest. But any new money coming in into the platform, you can't earn interest anymore. But there's always a but, right? If you're an accredited investor, right? If you have $1 million in the bank, or you earn $250,000 a year, which is what the top 5%, top 2%, you can earn interest. But the bottom, 95%, people that make less than $250,000 a year, people that have less than $1 million in the bank, you can't earn interest on your crypto anymore. I mean, this is what is wrong with this country. It's only in the US too. I was recently trying to stake my XRP on the Nexo platform, and I'm filling everything out, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Oh, 12% on the XRP, that'd be great. And then I go to find out, US users are cut out. I mean, only in the US they just try to keep you down, right? In other countries, they let you earn interest on your crypto, put your money into a stable coin and earn interest, which is even less volatile. Obviously, a stable coin is pegged to the dollar. You can't do it in the U.S. They will not let you do it because they know that would basically blow up the bonds market. Who would want to put their money in freaking bonds or anything, any bank or any CD? You wouldn't. Who would want to earn 1% to 5% on your money when inflation is at 7.5%, which is really about 10%? I mean, you're losing money keeping your money in banks. And meanwhile, they're taking your money. You put your money in the bank, they take your money and make money off it. But you can't make money off your own money. I mean, this is just so ridiculous the way our the structures in our government in our country work. It just makes no sense. It keeps the poor poor and the rich able to get richer, and it's just the most. I mean, it's all about power, right? It's all about power and control. That's what it's all about. So then I saw this about the SEC. Can the SEC require gag orders when it settles cases? The Supreme Court has been asked to review the practice, which a judge called a stew of confusion and hypocrisy, in which challengers say violates the First Amendment. And it's stating a Securities and Exchange Commission policy does not allow defendants to speak about cases they settle with the agency. So when you settle a case with the SEC, basically they're making you sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, which basically is a gag order, right? If you settle with the SEC, you can't talk about what the case was about, why you settled, if they did any shady business, if they were, we all know the SEC works like the mob. If they're, basically shutting you up and trying to put you out of business after you settle, you can't talk bad about the SEC, right? You can't come and say the SEC has been, terrible. And I mean, this is literally the mob. I mean, what is the difference between the SEC and the mob? I mean, it's unbelievable, right? And even Massimo here tweeted out, the SEC is part of an untouchable group along with the Federal Reserve. They are a corrupt agency working in the shadows, applying strange rules and extorting money from people and companies. And it seems that they can also buy silence. Appalling, right? So it's like, what is the difference between them and the mob? Honestly, what is the difference? And so John Deaton even talked about that article written there, and he said a judge called it a stew of confusion and hypocrisy unworthy of such a proud agency. The judge must have been aware of the fact that the SEC is anything but worthy and proud agency. So it's really unbelievable. And even John Deaton says down here, I'm not sure who first made the analogy, but the mafia comparison is on point. I mean, it's unbelievable the SEC can get away with all this stuff, right? They can basically, what they're doing against the library right now. A small company, they're trying to make a decentralized version of YouTube that is uncensored. And basically, the SEC comes in, drags them through the mud in this legal battle, causing them, millions and millions of dollars. Says, if you want to do this, we'll just put you out of business. Basically, giving them no options. The library's like, what can we do? Give us any options. How, we'll sell all the tokens. We'll do anything you want us to do, so we can come compliant with the law. Let us know what we can do. And the SEC's, you can't do anything. We're just going to destroy you, basically. It's like, this is because they don't like what they're doing, right? They can just destroy a company. This is not the U.S. that I believe in. This is not the U.S. that you guys should believe in. We need a level playing field. We need, government, if they're going to step in and do stuff and they're going to regulate things, they need to do it the right way, right? By just infringing on our rights and our constitutional rights by doing this stuff. I mean, it's only up to us to come up in arms with Twitter, with social media, with phone calls, whatever you guys can do. I always point to crypto law, John Deaton's crypto law platform, where you can write your senators, write your congressmen, and let them know that this cannot go on, right? We need to stop the SEC. And it's unbelievable this continues on. So, in the video, I want to talk about one thing. So, saw this on CNBC, and I thought this is why the SEC and the banks are coming up against crypto so much, is because, look, people are definitely getting involved with crypto. 1 in 5 adults in the U.S. has invested and traded or used cryptocurrency, NBC News poll shows. 1 in 5 Americans has invested, traded, or otherwise used cryptocurrency. So among, what is this? Let me just go down. So among the demographic groups studied, men between the ages 18 to 49 years were the most apt to say they've dabbled in crypto at a rate of 50%, guys. So 50% of men ages 18 to 49 have got into crypto. I mean, only 19% of those polled by the NBC News said that they view crypto positively, and 25 indicated that they view it negative light. So obviously those numbers will change when people. The thing about crypto is it's confusing, right? So when people first get into it, they're like, oh, that's confusing. I don't understand it. And they go with the narrative that it's bad for the environment. I don't want to get into it. But once you start getting into it and do a little research, then all of a sudden the lights start going off in your head. Oh wow, this is something like big, right? This is bigger than I thought. It's all about research. It's all about, you have to do hours and hours of research, honestly, to wrap your head around the whole thing, right? I've been in this thing for about 4.5 5 years, and I'm still learning things every day. So a lot to learn. I hope you guys will put the research in. If you like the content that I'm putting out there, I hope you guys will like and subscribe, and definitely leave a comment down below, because I like to read in the comments. I want to interact with my followers. If you guys have any questions, anything about XRP and other cryptos, please comment down below. But thank you so much, and just remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. And thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.